All right, good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock. I'd like to welcome to September 19th, 2024 Town Council meeting. We will be live. All right, the council has had an opportunity to review the minutes from the fifth meeting. Looking for a motion to approve them. Make a motion to approve the minutes. Motion made to approve the minutes of 9/5/24. Meeting minutes, is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Right, so I will now look for a motion to move into a public hearing for the Goldsboro Sewer Rate Review.
I'll make that motion.
Regarding ordinance.
Okay.
All right, now you can do a second. All in favor? Opposed? All right, so the hearing is hereby open, so if anybody here has a public comment that they'd like to make regarding these two ordinances, please come forward one at a time to the podium.
Like to provide whatever.
Sure.
So you have two ordinances here in front of you for a public hearing. First, I will start with ordinance 2024-05, which is an ordinance of the town of Greensboro establishing the annual charge owed by the town of Goldsboro for Goldsboro's proportionate share of the operation, maintenance, debt service, and administrative fee for the Greensboro wastewater disposal system, and to establish an annual bay restoration fee of $60 per single family residential property and $5 per month per EDU for non-residential properties and multifamily dwellings. As the mayor and council know, in 2013, the town of Greensboro and Goldsboro entered into an intergovernmental agreement which provided that the town of Greensboro would upgrade and increase capacity in the town of Greensboro's wastewater treatment plant and extend out to Goldsboro and 25 Caroline County properties. The purpose of doing that was to get properties in Goldsboro off of private failing septic systems, and in Caroline County properties, and the town of Goldsboro received large amount of grant funds for this project. So within that intergovernmental agreement, it provides a specific equation and formula for determining what Goldsboro's annual fee is going to be to Greensboro. In the past, we haven't had to adjust it much, thankfully, because the operation and maintenance costs for the wastewater treatment plant have remained the same. However, as you all know, this year operation costs have skyrocketed, and really that's happened throughout the state because there's not that many operators, and the expense for them has just gone up. So within the intergovernmental agreement, the share of debt service for the wastewater treatment plant and the collection system remains the same. That number doesn't change because the debt service doesn't change. The numbers that change are Goldsboro's share of annual O&M costs, again, because it's the O&M costs fluctuate annually. The O&M cost for the Goldsboro collection system, which Goldsboro is 100% responsible for covering. Greensboro does not cover the O&M for the Goldsboro collection system. And then an annual administrative billing fee because the town manages billing Goldsboro and receiving bills. So with the increase in the O&M in the current fiscal year budget, This ordinance proposes to increase Goldsboro's monthly amount owed to Greensboro from $8,533.06 to $13,162.50. Now, the town of Goldsboro is responsible for then taking that monthly amount due to Greensboro and setting their own rates for their specific users. So I did some math based on what I think the rates are of about $72 a month. And I think it's going to raise, assuming they have some vacant lot fees, and again, this will be for them to figure out. It would raise the monthly bill from $72 to $107. Caroline County, there are 25 properties, and that is ordinance 2024-06, an ordinance of the town of Greensboro establishing a sewer rate for the 25 Caroline County properties within the Goldsboro Sewer Service District located outside the town of Goldsboro in the amount of $114.97, and establish the annual bay restoration fee of $60 per single-family residential property and $5 per month per EDU for non-residential properties and multi-family dwellings. These Caroline County properties were included in the intergovernmental agreement and the connection to Greensboro system because they had failing septic, and it was part of Caroline County's help in Greensboro in getting a lot of these grant funds from USDA and CBG. So I don't know if you have any questions.
I have a question. How is Goldsboro notified the city?
So, can I answer? Okay. So the way the intergovernmental agreement is written, the town of Greensboro has to introduce an ordinance setting the rate, hold a public hearing on the rate, and then once established, the town of Goldsboro has to adopt their own ordinance distributing that amount. So we advertise in the paper, we notify the town of Goldsboro, but they will also have to go through the same process.
Thank you.
So having heard all of that, is there anybody here that wishes to speak about these two ordinances? Yes.
Just clarification on five B, is that 114.97, and you listed what they are, all the other fees, is that an annual fee, a monthly fee, a quarterly fee?
Which number are you looking at?
Five B, 202406 to 114.97, that is monthly?
That is not.
Okay, it's not saying. But that's
Oh, okay, I was thinking, I couldn't figure out what the fee was.
The actual ordinance itself.
Yeah, so in the bigger restoration fee is annual, but then in the actual ordinance, it has the breakdown here of what the annual cost is due to the town of Greensboro, from Goldsboro, and then that broken down into the monthly cost, and then the big restoration fee broken down.
So, sir, you just walked in. Are you here for the public hearing for the Goldsboro?
Yeah.
Would you like to come up and make a comment? Or
Listen and take it all in.
unfortunately, you missed the majority of it. We just went through all the two ordinances.
I'm sorry, fast learner.
All right. So nobody else is here to speak? Yes, sir.
I just want to know what the reason for the price increase would be.
So, actually,
Equipment going up, and labor going up, what is that?
the cost of the town's operation of the wastewater treatment plant has gone up. So they had to put the services out to bid for operating their wastewater treatment plant, because they don't have anyone licensed, qualified on staff to do so. The proposals that we received back were more than double the cost that they had under contract.
So you have like a subcontractor running your wastewater.
It is a company that does it. It's Susquehanna.
I got a question on that. So when we balanced the budget, you guys gave yourself raises, there's money in the budget to cover them, and you raised our bills $30 per quarter. So that still wasn't enough?
So raises would be in a separate general account. The sewer account has to be self-sustaining. So any costs and expenses for the wastewater treatment plant have to be paid by bills to the wastewater treatment plant.
And this is just Goldsboro's portion. It doesn't affect the Greensboro citizens at all.
Well,
You're certainly welcome to ask any other question. That's what this hearing is for.
And I do, Jeanette and I spoke some prior to your public hearing, we could have it, and I think someone from the town can certainly be there to give an overview of the difference in cost between what operation was for the town versus what it is now, and give you those budget numbers so you can explain that.
the only problem I have here that I'm going to see is there's a lot of elderly people that live in Gulfport that can't afford the $20. You know, they're struggling to pay the 77 right now, and I know for 5 of them, because they come.
Yeah.
And I am the mayor, my name is Jamie Yeager, I'm the mayor of Gulfport. I have to speak out to the people that have come to me, and they're wanting to know, you know, spending 13, 15 years, whatever, and now all of a sudden, they're just getting adjusted to this, now it's going up $20. That's a lot for some people.
Yeah, no, I certainly understand. I think, you know, it was unfortunate that the operation costs are what they are. I think the town has a long-term goal of hiring an individual that is licensed, which will substantially reduce the operation cost, but we just didn't have that option this year.
So is the town of Greensboro going to look into that option?
Absolutely.
Of maybe hiring somebody that is qualified to do it, and it won't be as much money?
Absolutely, and under the agreement, the town of Greensboro can only charge Goldsboro the actual cost. So if there's costs were to produce, then we would readjust the rates.
Maintenance bill.
There's no new plant being built as of right now that I'm aware.
The addition, the expansion.
There is an expansion discussion in progress to see if there could be grant funding for it, but nothing has been approved as far as construction.
Like what this guy just said, you guys in the village, like with the county, there comes to help. Probably for that water.
Have we worked with the county?
With the county provides them and possibly work with them where there was set up some kind of budget to help the elderly.
We can let the county know of the increase.
I think it was very well for you guys to work down to try to create some, maybe create something for the elderly. Which are not. I think that would be very helpful if you guys reach out to them. Do something like that.
Any other comments? Questions? Yes, Paul. I look for a motion to close the public hearing. I'll make that motion. And the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is closed. So now we need to vote on these two ordinances, correct?
Yes, if you're ready.
All right, is the council ready to proceed and vote on ordinance 24-05? All right, then I'll look for a motion to approve ordinance 24-05, on which the town attorney has approved to the public hearing.
I'll make that motion to approve ordinance 2024-05.
And a second. Second. Is there any further discussion? Don, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Bralia. Commissioner Harrison.
Yeah.
Commissioner Noonan. Commissioner Robinson.
All right, and with the same for ordinance 2024-06, if you look for a motion to approve this ordinance as well.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance of 2024-06.
As read by the town.
Written by the
All right, and is there a second? Second. Any further discussion? Don, would you call the roll?
Commissioner Bralia.
Yeah.
Commissioner Harrison.
Hey,
Commissioner Robinson,
Yeah.
Commissioner Newman.
All right, thank you. So both ordinances are passed 4-0. All right, and next on the agenda is, Ms. Donna Baxter.
It's going on with the drain on Rose Street where they messed up the road and now it doesn't drain and it comes in my yard.
Who would like to respond to that?
I'm sorry, I was totally my agenda.
Like the word of the-
Right,
I wanna know what's gonna happen. It's in my house. The road was put in wrong and it does not drain into the drain. And it comes in my yard and I want it to go away.
so my understanding of the project was it was to mill and pave the road, which is what was done. And your yard experienced flooding prior to that occurring, and there was no evidence that the paving of the road,
Yes,
as
there
a
is.
great.
Water goes downhill. There's a crown in that road. And there's a swale that comes into the front of my house. So I have water from 3 directions. The water does not go into the drain, it comes to my yard. I have a split here. That means half of my house is underground. The water comes within 5 feet of my house. When it gets to my house, Greensboro owns it.
Greensboro owns their house.
I will go to court to have it fixed. I want the road, I'm not fighting Greensboro, I have to go through you guys to get to Brandon. They installed the road wrong. And I need to have it fixed before it floods my house.
Do you have you had an engineer or someone look at those plans?
What we had, Brandon, we've had several people come out and look, and everybody agrees the road is wrong.
Then, take the number, that's something, grab them, look at it, and burn.
And the result of that was that the road was paved the same degree that it was prior to the paving.
There was not a crown in that road. The road, the town has pictures, there's pictures of the road before it was done. That it laid in the road, there was no crown.
Okay, if you can provide those pictures, I'm happy to look at them.
Where are they?
They
All the
were,
pictures that I turned in.
they've been emailed, to,
Okay.
I don't know if they went to you, I emailed probably Tammy and Brandon.
Okay. So we will look at it. We are trying to resolve it. We have an issue of, we have a contractor that did a job that is saying they did a job from back.
They did not put it back the way it was because it was flat in front of my house.
Okay,
They said that because I had a driveway put in, that I lowered my yard, but I had my driveway was put in before the road was done.
and did you experience flooding then?
No, I didn't experience flooding until, so far it hasn't come in my house. But I never had this problem until they did it. And water seeks its own level. It's going to go down, it doesn't go up. It has to go up to be able to go down to the drain. It has to be right.
How much water do you have in there? You got any water in there, to anyone?
No, I didn't have any, I wasn't home for the most part, but when I got home, the rain was over. And I didn't see any rain, there is some in my driveway.
Well, I know we had too much rain, that's why that.
Yeah, Brandon comes by and checks on my house when it does rain. And if it rains, if there's something wrong, he'll call me. But
I read that in your yard, when you went in your yard, but there was some at the end of your, there, in the sense that there was a little bit of puddle there.
well, that's always been there. That's always been there. Actually, that part is better, but it does, when it's real heavy, it comes down from that corner to in front of my yard. Christina's had her grandson out there playing in the water in my front. I mean, it wasn't like that before. And they said that they had somebody come out and ping it so that it was the same. I watched those kids do it. They took out the laser, they laid it on the back of the truck, they walked around, looked at it, went and got back in the truck and played with their phones.
So the data she referred to is Brown Engineering.
The original, when
The
before
original.
they did the
So the
road.
original, they came out and shot grades on everybody's house. Yeah. And when they did, they gave everything, they're the ones that took the initiative, met with Bramble about everything, what they needed done. And when we met with them, they turned around and said, there is a ground in that road. But Bramble saying that they did it the way that they were told, Brown saying that Bramble did it the way that they told them to do it, and that nobody wants to accept the result.
When they laid that road down, they started at one end. And they went across. Nobody ever adjusted that machine. They went all the way down. Then they came back. And they went down again. Nobody ever adjusted that machine. I've been in construction for 50 years. I know water doesn't go and if you don't adjust your machines, it's not gonna adjust by itself. But this drain, we paid for this road, the drain doesn't work. Take my house out of the equation, the drain does not work. Water doesn't get to it. You go look at it right now, and you see where sand is laying around it because of rain from yesterday. I should have took a picture, I've never thought of it.
Did Brandon do the name on it and try to find it, you know?
There's no, I mean, the grade, even if you grind down that grade, you're not, if you still are, that you still have that ground. That has to be go back, that whole, that section, go back over. It would have to be laid flat.
Just like your sidewalks, just like your sidewalks, they all bevel so that if wheelchairs can get up, well, you need to bevel this road so water goes down that side. I'm getting all the water from my side of Rose Street, from both houses next to me, coming in, and everything else, it's just all coming in my yard. I'm the focal point.
I certainly understand your frustration. No, I understand your frustration. The town is in a predicament right now between the two contractors arguing, and they're trying to resolve it. And so,
That's what I've been telling everybody. I'm not fighting Greensboro.
no, and I.
I have to go through you
Yeah,
to get to them. And every time Brandon comes to my house, I tell him I'm not mad at you. And every time I talk to her, I'm not mad at her. Y'all are just the ones that are in front of me. I need to get this relayed before my house floods.
and I get it, and I appreciate your patience. It just takes time to figure out.
I'll be here every month until we figure it out. And then when those flood, somebody better bring it home and check. Because this is of no fault of mine.
It sounds like somebody may need to task one or both of these contractors to pass before, whether it's us or her as an individual. I think that's what we're trying to do.
I shouldn't have to do this.
The problem is that it's a town project and these are town contractors, so you all have to assess what the risk is to the town and the expense to the town.
This was not an issue before that road was laid. And now it is.
Well, and you have conflicting statements from the two contractors.
Jump up and admit it, that you have to pay to visit.
I agree.
We don't have someone that checks the work after they're completed.
Well, there was a town engineer that designed it and should have tracked it.
They probably didn't, because who's gonna go up against Bramble and say, hey, man.
Well, for us to pay them, somebody has to sign
That's
off on their
right,
work.
that's
Someone
right.
has to sign off on their work. Otherwise, it's.
That's right.
All right.
But nobody did it. Apparently.
I can guarantee you, if you put the press into the contract to get this fixed, as much as you put the pressure on the citizens about this water thing, you can do this on.
We have tried to respond to Ben for $50,000.
All right. All right, order. Now, Ms. Bennett has the floor.
Oh, I'm done. Comments. I just need my break fixed. Okay.
And-
Obviously, we don't.
If you go,
Yeah.
I said you
Everybody-
copies, I don't have that, so just I'll have it direct.
Okay, wait, listen, I'm gonna remind the public, I'm gonna remind the public one more time, please. This is not an open meeting, we are in discussion, you are not allowed to make comments unless you're recognized by me as the mayor. You're not recognized, and she recognized you think now. Cannot interrupt you. This is of the meeting, if you continue everything from us, I'm pleased asking for your cooperation.
You didn't call order last time, shit got disrupted.
Please.
Okay, everybody knows what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, we
So,
understand we will work to resolve it.
I already have I'm already signed up for the next meeting.
That's fine.
And after the next meeting, I will be here the following meeting and the following,
I
until
understand.
either my house floods and y'all's insurance takes care of it, or you fix it before my house floods.
I understand.
So I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, department reports, town manager.
So, Cinnamon Meadows, the only thing update that I have, there's no resolution yet regarding the facts and the measurements, regarding the properties, Parkland and Bernard and the paper alley, but the engineer, once we can get dates coordinated, we are going to kind of set something up with this down and whatever residents along it that are affected and see what's going on with measurements and why there's a difference between the two. I'm sure as everybody knows, the bills, were supposed to go out on 16, but because of the higher billing issues and having increases, we wanted to make sure and check and recheck, make sure that things weren't going out. With a lot of errors, not saying that they're gonna be perfect, but we've tried. Been working on updates with the employee manual and the town charter. I sent the employee manual, with all my notes and everything to council for review and get back to looking through the town charter and reviewing, that with the, and passing out of council. Property on Main Street that has had issues, is still being worked on. Fire marshal, did a cease and desist on the one building that had people living in it, and there are other investigations on the way that someone that's in my conversation. Planning and zoning, there was one new building, rental inspections were done 3 times a week, that's between Jamie and Brandon. They all did the application and affidavit for administrative signature for the Main Street property. We have a new hire, Julie Porter, she is only part-time at my office. We did that kind of partially, that's everything went really well with that. I'm not sure the numbers, because the second meeting was well, We have, so I have the next month or next thing, House of Bobbers is coming up on the 28th. We have, it's all the kids in the park syndrome got rained out. Three, there'll be food trucks there. We're working on collecting votes for the code drive still. This year, we're doing that, with Greenville Elementary School and Aaron's Place. I met with the ladies from County Country. And they'll also be coming to help volunteer. So if anybody wants to volunteer for that, I'll make sure you guys get an email on the flyer.
What's the date?
November 8th, I believe. There's a day shift and a night shift, so families can come when they're available. It'll be hot here. The fire department's allowing us to use the building. Last year we had it at the meeting hall and it was just not enough space. So this year we'll have the codes and community resources out here with other things to give away as well. High school's back in swing, so I've been writing letters for, letters of recommendation to the high school kids that are helped out with the events and the food pantries. And right now we're working on the Enough grant, and it is the, engaging neighborhood organizations, unions and government accounts, to find a group of poverty in small town communities and try to fix that. It's a huge ordeal, and you have to have. You have to have multiple community partners come in to work and reviews to bring organizations in to work with us and then that grant. And that's.
All right. Thank you. Madam Attorney?
The only thing I have is we received a road use maintenance agreement from Caroline County for the entryway of the road to the wastewater treatment plant because they finally got their funding approved for County Park. And so that will be on your next agenda. Yeah.
Chief Thomas?
Yeah, the Carolina County deputies, they are filled in. While we're actively putting they will have at the end of the month, they'll give me a graph of the calls for service that they've had while they're here. I will provide that to you at the next council meeting. So I don't know now, but once a month, they're going to provide a draft, pictures of calls, service and things that they've done. We had a domestic violence which resulted in an arrest in the town of Greensboro, West Sunset Avenue, and another domestic violence that did not result in an arrest in Rolling Meadows Apartments. Had a few more police applications, and we are in conversation with the Maryland Police Training Commission on two of the applicants that we have received. You know, I know I said this before, but I would rather work short staff with quality officers than just hire just any police officer to fill this need. So you have to be patient is because I am looking for the most qualified officer. I think us as a town and townships and deserve the best. And I will not cut short just to see. So we are actively seeking only the best qualified. Just today, we got the speed camera monitoring company. They sent over a final contract, which will require the signature of the mayor. The town attorney has been in contact and did review that, so that will be signed here tonight, and then we'll start with that project. Sure you guys are aware it's going to be in the area of the elementary school. Well, there was a few, issues with revising the contract. I think once it's signed, then they will go to the state highway, administration, that's all part of it. They do all the signage and, you know, we've written up, adopted the town ordinance for that, so we're actually well ahead of the game. Hopefully, you know, within the next few weeks, that they'll actually start those or something. So I'm heavily anticipating that happening. It's been 3 or 4 months. 10 times. I think I already talked about the administrative search warrant that I assisted on Main Street. And that's it.
And so there's a fair amount more people here tonight than there were at the last meeting where we talked about the police department and where we are with that. And so just to clarify, Dylan, in the last meeting, we had a sudden resignation on one of our 2 officers, which left us with Chief Collins. And we are actually seeking new officers to fill those spots that are open. In the meantime, we entered into an agreement with the sheriff's department to hire deputies on overtime to fill in patrols to help out Chief Collins. And that's where we are. No further discussion or talk about what we're gonna do or the future of the police department has been made. And if we have to make it, they will be cleaned down the road and we'll bring it to the public when that happens. Right now, that's where we are. So
Basically, we've been just doing our routine stuff. We did help Susquehanna, assisting them with the cleaning and alcohol. Make sure all that got service proper. We had bulk pickups, rental inspections, so we did have a lot of good enforcement grants that had to be cut. It's things improving now, Main Street. You know, we just got some more paint the other day, so one of those areas, we get some time, we do some more around town. Started filling some potholes, but then the dump truck door breaks, so still waiting on that to get fixed. Once that gets fixed, then we'll go back to it. Had a couple of school bus drivers and stuff to talk about, a couple of limbs that were a little low and scratching their bus, and then the post office, behind the post office there. So we took care, we've been going there and get some first drain. State highways fixed the storm drain, or working on fixing the storm drain, out front of Grace Gas. In the log cabinet, the Carolina County Historical Society, we've already got the word, everything, got to clean the whole front. Looks like they're getting ready to transport it back. Once they do, they're supposed to get in contact with us, so they're gonna need some help. Just closing some room for them to try to limit the time, so that way they don't affect the school.
So, speaking of the building, the historical society, there seems to be some confusion from some of the citizens in town. We have no control of that building. We don't own the building. The Caroline County Historical Society owns that building, and they made the decision to move it out on Marblehead Road. There's some other property there that has historical value. And they came to our last meeting and just let us know as an FYI, that's what they were doing. So we didn't have any business with it. I mean, they just came to let us know when we seen it all out. We knew nobody was stealing. So, and some of you riding around might have noticed that we had made some complaints to State Highway about some of the roads in town. If you've noticed, they've been in town here recently, particularly on Sunset, and I noticed they were out on 313 cleaning up the grass and the weeds next to the road, which really makes it look a lot better. So, thank you. And the potholes are starting to surface already on East Sunset. We're aware of that, and we'll continue to notify State Highway that it's their responsibility to patch those. They're only going to get worse. I suspect, and I'm not contract, but don't want to fix it, for them to repave that road, whether that happens. That's all right. Second question.
at the previous meeting, we were talking about creating a work schedule. The duties and tasks that could be completed earlier on, with Christmas lights and stuff for who. And October 1st being like right around the corner. Has anybody established like a work schedule or when you're gonna have like work details for if the citizens want to help to come out and do it?
Actually, it was supposed to have been done today, but we've had some,
Okay, so you are working on
but
it.
yeah, because the Who bill's getting, the start time's getting pushed back because the fire department's got some stuff that they're going, I think, a movie or time or something. So they got some stuff that they're doing, so we're gonna try to get some of the stuff, so once that's done, we can.
Okay. It's on my list of things to follow
Before, there's one, I just want you to look at water bills because it's really more time to get everything together. And so many citizens assisted with putting the water bill schedule together, and it's so hard to accommodate, 900 people and the way we're making works. But, if the bills go out of time, there's a 30-day time to pay the bill. After that 30 days, there's a 15-day grace period. Once that grace period ends, you have to have a payment arrangement made. If that payment arrangement is made, you have until December 6th midnight. So it's from September 15th to December 6th. It's the first payment or a payment arrangement and then the final payment. We took out the middle ground where you have to have a certain amount of money paid by a certain date. In the thought that some people will get paid on the first week of the month or the last week of the month. So that eliminates that being an issue for them. So just that as long as people come in and go, hey, we'd like to do a payment arrangement. This is what we can do, then we can work with them. It's on the website. Once the bills are able to go out, I'll make a post on Facebook as well with all this information. But that was the thought process behind it. You guys are looking at the data, like, they look a little different. That is why, because help with your feet, so. Yeah, copies are going out.
So thank you for bringing that up. We had talked about this for some time. And I had asked the staff to come up with a schedule because I think in the past, we've done a little bit this way, a little bit that way, a little bit this way, a little bit that way. And it's not fair to do it haphazardly. There needs to be a schedule that the public knows what it is, and we have to be consistent so that everybody's treated equally when they come up to their water bill. So trust me, there was a lot of discussion that went on into this because I was part of that, and I appreciate the effort. Unless you want to cancel, object to this, this is what they're going to use moving forward, and we will post it so that the public will see it and can know what to expect moving forward. So this is, I'm not fair to have you look at it down, but take a look at it tonight. Part A, but I said, hold on, I made a mistake. Reach out to the staff, otherwise. But that's better. Yeah. Anything else from you? Kind of went so.
when you send the bill. When you send the bill out every quarter, can you send the schedule for that quarter with it?
Yeah, we do that.
Okay.
So the reliable contractor, they were put down the base, I painted on the street. The people that look, I got some that left over, I'll just take care of it. But the dump truck tore up on us, literally, we ended up with without 1.66 tons of hot mix. And after that, literally the brakes were. Luckily, we made it back. We were in town when they tore up. We've got all the material that we could use. And when I see that it's fixed, we'll get there.
All right, we need to volunteer work.
Yes, sir.
You got anything like?
Yeah, I would like to thank, everyone that came out, to the rodeo and tractor pull. We had over 14, I'll say 1,450 paying people come through the gate. Not to mention probably 200 kids that were on the age of 6 that were let in for free. So actually have about 1,700 people in town during that Saturday. And I'd like to thank everybody that came out and assisted us in helping us.
Brian, that is something you're going to.
Yes. So we'd like to thank everybody that came out and assisted us.
All right, well, that's great, and again, I'd like to thank Mark on the cooperation you give with us, but I know you facilitate a lot of our, greatly appreciate that interaction, so. Now I will open the floor to public comment. I don't have a sheet. And remind you that the public comment is limited to 3 minutes, please. I'm sorry, they need to come up here for the report.
Fair enough. I just had a couple questions. Want to start trying? So the company for the camera system, is that the one that we're paying? Camera? Or is that the one that- Yeah.
That's the one that the price.
Thank you for your service, what you said, a lot, thank you for all the stuff you're doing, taking it down, very noticeable, of course, you'll do your job too. The other thing, as I like to say, I think it's very interesting, well, I'll just say, it's no double, we have Eagle House in town, which, you know, we know there's some updates on, we got a couple updates. My question is, this thing's been up for like years, and, no permits or nothing, surprised the building's still up. My other question is why, or if, I don't know the answer to this, are we finding them by the day, for every day that it's up, and for every day there's illegal people in the building?
There's other agencies involved right now that's, kind of tight.
We'll touch back on. I had a couple of ministers reach out to me, and 6 months ago in one of the town meetings, and I believe it was on the agenda, I think actually you might want to know. They're asking about if the churches get, the rediscussion of the water bill for churches. I mean, most of these churches are only open for, you know, say 4 hours a week. Is it fair to say that you're looking to give them free water? Would be open for 4 hours a week?
We could potentially look at reduce, we have looked at the issue of not charging churches, and there are some legal ramifications with that, so.
I was just wondering, because apparently before they were charged.
I understand
There must
that.
be some new laws.
I understand.
That's it. Thank you.
All right.
It's me.
No, but you are next.
Okay.
All right,
About the paper out. And then Joe did present some of this planning to me, but I just wanted to thank you. I did this circuit courthouse after the last town meeting. And they said she really wanted to apply time. That means there is a to get a lawyer and you have to go before the judge. So, I went to talk to a lawyer and he suggested more of a deed to deed. And then I looked at what the builder, the California Circuit Court could not find where he had put in a deed for his 10.
Property owner had a fence permit that they submitted and they showed the location of the fence and the town approved it. We're not responsible for checking the property line, so it would still be a dispute amongst neighbors.
And that's why I want to get rid of the paper house. We always get stuck in the middle and we really don't have any ability to do it, and we don't control this. So I would just stick with the advice of your attorney, let us know how to proceed and, yeah, and moving forward, I don't know that it might not be a good idea to consider as we get closer with Ken and Meadows to offer a meeting up with those residents, you know, with us or somebody from Ken, so that they have an idea what's going to be happening in their backyard and they can answer them directly any questions that they have, because they're going to have questions and
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that we, the council, are in a position to answer them as much as it might be our planning and Ken.
This is more information for you all to what's going on.
You might not have thought of it, so thank you.
This matter. People probably stop talking to them.
Yeah, I like that.
And so I can work on that, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of piggybacking on what you said. I want to clarify something. I've lived in that house for 25 years. I'm 2 doors down from her. When I purchased that property, it was explained to me and it was shown on my deed that that paper alley was owned by the town. And that was how it was represented to us. And other neighbors, that was what was told to us. And I think in her conversations, it was said that the town at one point just kind of said, we don't want it anymore. Right, so the town is responsible for that in regards, like just because you say, I don't want it, doesn't mean that someone can move in behind me and say, oh, well, I want it. And if they didn't do it properly, now I have to go and pay deed fees of $200 to $300 to say, I want 10 feet of it. Where he didn't do any of that, right? So there's a discrepancy of what's happening here, that's not cool, right? Like, so, you know, I'm on that boat with Ms. Donna to say, well, if I have to pay $200 to $300 to get 10 feet, I'm gonna chip into the $1,000 to get the whole thing. So, it might be worthwhile looking at what other paper outlets would have, because it's always been represented to the citizens that this is town property, and then like Realtor even said, this is town right away, at any point, they can claim it. You know, and
Well, there's a difference between town right away, if it only has infrastructure that we have to maintain, right, Brandon? Right.
There's also, I mean, if you have your title search from when you purchased your property, it might be helpful, but our records indicate that that was a paper alley that was supposed to be deeded to the town, but the town never took acceptance of it. So while the intent was there, the town never took any action to take ownership of it. I think if the town had taken ownership of it, they would have no problem deeding it to you individuals, but the town doesn't own any interest in it to do that.
But at what point does the town sign off on the plat without survey? With you guys in crossing, right? Because if this person is supposed to follow the same legal proceedings that the individual citizens have to.
They can't just gain property by filing a plat and having, it doesn't,
They apparently did.
they might be acting that way, and that's where you all as abutting property owners need to.
Cool. All right, thanks.
Paul Turner, maybe. Hi.
So Brandon needs to add, critter catcher to his resume. I had a groundhog move in, my second one under my shed,
Oh, possums.
that's what I caught. And it hisses, they hiss at you when you get close. And I probably caught like 50 squirrels, but I let them out 13. And I just wanted, we kind of went out of the order for the department reports, but I just want to follow with Amanda on the property across the street from me.
We have sent them notices, they're all being returned, so we have to wait. I think it's from the last of this. But we did it too, buddy, I had emailed you back and then you had to just have a phone number for somebody.
I don't associate.
Sometimes neighbors have them, that's why I asked, what the number something
Not
that.
since the first overdose stopping, I had her number.
So we don't have to wait for contact. So that's what we're waiting on now.
Well, they, what I know, the little that I know, they don't work. And I believe, the owner's on disability, and Officer Trans told me in our conversation, he'd be happy to go there if you would like to knock on the door.
No, I would not put in place for that. That's not our policy.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to give you other avenues. They check on it every day around, that's all. Okay, thank you.
Talking about the same house with the generator.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, since then, he got some help, and then he got.
I contacted social services, in reference to that, and they did they did like a visit, but they were going to get some resources for them to.
Do we need his name or? Do we need
The guy that lives there in that house, he is the property. It's not around. I mean,
Tim D. Tim D, have a last name?
Am I recognized?
Your last name, sir?
No.
No.
All right, I'm recognized. I ain't gonna be hard. I'm moving out of here in a few days, it's gonna be this month. But I will say, I listened tonight, and I wanted to try to figure out what I do out of business, so it's part of my rhythm. And I'm listening to everybody, she's doing her job. The ball's stopping right there. These people are getting pictures, sending them to her, and she's clueless. Every time I ask her something, she's clueless. That's the problem. That's and her attitude is extremely condescending and extremely bad. So there's your problem. That's the beef between you guys right there. That's your problem. The other thing is, you guys really need to do something. If you want the gentrification of this area, to at least state somebody who will still be some brown folks, white folk, because it's about to be unstable. My neighbors, you say the water bills are adjusted according to how we live in the house, wrong. My neighbor is good friends with my wife. letting people live in there, their water bill is $10 less than mine, that's cool. So the lies need to stop. I mean, nothing's being adjusted. Your whole community is being taken over and gentrified right in front of your face if you're doing nothing about it. That's one issue. The other issue is the pressure that's being put on the people need to be put on these contractors. Because nothing's ever getting done there, nothing, you know as well as I do. It's just a revolving door that ends up, that's where the problem's there. So that's just something that needs to be fixed, you know? Get a lawyer that wants to work with the people that actually cares about the town, because she might be looking at the pictures being sent to her and has no idea about this information.
How do you know I received the pictures?
Well, you said that you haven't seen them, she sent them.
I didn't send them to Lindsay.
Well, either way, you need to do your job and get that stuff. Yeah, well, this next thing's coming to be, call you like they're doing right now, you have the rest of the face, you're very condescending, you're just a nasty person, and people are not comfortable with you. And a little kind of like this, I can be comfortable with you, sir, you're the oddball, that's it. Keep your, I love this guy, he's doing great, I miss him dearly, I miss him, and I like Paul. Something's got to change, man. The town is going downhill. Real fast. The quality of living here is going in the gutter. And you guys know the problem, and you're letting it happen. Don't let your town be gentrified like this, or you will not have a town. Look at Henderson. That's where I'm from, shop. And it's hard to see a black person or a white person anywhere. And my wife's Spanish. I love Spanish people. But the gentrification is out of control over here. They're sending me their problems in the city, man. Gotta stop letting it happen. This place is gonna become what they run from and make wherever they go.
I will thank you for your comment, but I will say that I don't think certainly I or the council, anybody, judge a person by the color of their skin.
I didn't justify about the color of skin. I stated a fact, sir. Don't be that progressive, liberal, lefty weird crap. That's not for that.
We talked about that.
I have a couple of questions.
Mr. Shabbat.
Thank you. Last meeting, I made some suggestions on certain things that I thought would help communication. I haven't heard anything tonight about that. I'd like to know if any action has been taken on these items.
I'm sorry.
So I know one was to reach out to the local churches. Youth group. Yes, so that was one. Another one was that, the reports that get read out, there may be copies of them, so if we have some information to actually read and try to understand. I have not heard about that. I also, and at this point, I don't need this report, just as a point of understanding. Months ago, I asked for the report on the fees and fines that we got for the water system and the septic system and water sewage things. And I never have gotten that as of today. I'm sorry. Well, I was.
The fine, you put in here, a couple months back. Yeah, so.
Well, I understand why it's switched,
See
but-
how much it was costing us and grant fines in between, staying with the previous one. I think that it was important and we took on the.
And there was supposed to be a resolution to that I was expecting that. I've not heard about that. I don't know what's going. But it is important that when people make suggestions, you make them. That's understandable. But when it is lingering, nothing gets done, that's frustrating. So just like to suggest that you can't be alone, just say, Bill, we keep get the reports out, but we'd like to understand why, if that was the case, for example. And also just one other quick question, you said that you have a contract today, that, like, going to be signed, right?
Yes.
Concern, and I understand the process, but you just got a contract Well, that's just a one paragraph contract. Is that enough time to read it, understand it?
So it was actually on, the agenda last month, and I provided an overview of amendments that the town should make to accept the contract. And we received the contract back with those amendments, so now it's final and can be signed.
Okay, so we have that more than just today.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Here we're doing it.
Thank you.
So before you leave, Mr. Moore, what reports did you want to make available?
Well, the town manager's report, the police chief's report,
So basically, he wants the same thing we get.
any reports that you get, we should get, they're, I believe they're public record, are they not?
Would have to ask our-
Yeah.
And it would be so helpful communication wise for us to be able to see that instead of hearing your response if they want to
Correct.
say.
So I think that the cost prohibitive for us to mail them, print them and mail them to everybody. But if you in particular would like copies of them.
So something you could do would be to put, either reduce copies if they're long, or the full copy of the report with the minutes. So when the minutes are posted, the report. Sorry. I'm gonna stick over your minutes for us.
Well, Mr. Bill Brown, I think you've been reaching out to the high school staff for volunteers for the. She said that in her report. You may not have heard it, so she reached out to the high school and she's working with them. And we're getting volunteers.
Church. Yeah, you've got a lot of churches that might be interested in doing that, and scout troops.
Thank you.
Kevin Parks.
So, I have a couple things I'd like to. well, So I was wondering how much cost the town has spent on lawyer fees, town employee time associated with, Mr. Mason's, special meetings, attorney fees, town insurance, legal costs, defender counsel, your choice, Mr. Mayor, for lawyer fees and that kind of stuff, and all the employees that spend their time. You do all this special stuff.
Should I charge, counseling fees?
Sorry, just don't think I'm too proud.
And the attorney. Attorney charges a very good bit of money. And then they, he put me out there and had slander on me, so about my free. Permits and friends benefits, I guess, I'm basically. So, I just like to know how much money the town has spent on what his accusations and lawyers and lawsuits against the town, the town, all the commissioners, I think I like to know how much money it's costing the town. That because he keeps going on, wants to know where the money's going. So we always show it to you. So, that's.
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, I have a question, man.
Is there, anybody else out there who did not sign up that would like to make a public comment? Please, for the record, you state your name.
Kimberly Ernest. I just had a couple questions, specifically about the permits that are issued. I had an incident a couple years ago where my neighbor had some kind of vendetta I've never even spoken to that cost us some legal fees, and during that whole process, he pulled, surveys, plats, and, to fight the charges she tried to bring against us. We were successful, but in the meantime, we found out that she actually, erected her fence incorrectly and over our property. You had said earlier that property line disputes are between the residents, but in this particular case, she applied for a permit to erect the fence, and the terms of the permit were even followed. It stated in the permit application that if you're putting a fence on the property line,
Moreover, that the signature of the adjoining property has to be signed off. That was not done. And when I called the town to get involved, they're like, sorry, that's true to you. So, and I was also told that the employee that issued the permit was no longer employed by the town. So unless we take it to our expense to fight the removal, plus you put the fence on backwards. Not only go over our property line, but go backwards and didn't get our signatures. So my question is, and this is out of pure ignorance because I do not know. Why are permits required when we don't live in an HOA?
So the town requires permits, so they can ensure that your fence meets the town ordinances related to setbacks and height. In that particular instance, if I'm recalling the correct one, that property owner was also claiming to the town that they owned to the fence line and that it was their property. So that's why the town didn't get involved in that matter, because it was a property line dispute as to who owned the property.
Okay, she hired 3 different survey companies. All of them came back with the same thing. She's very much.
Yeah, is the fence still there?
It's still there.
Okay, so what resulted in,
Well, we never took it to court because we didn't want to keep running up bills. I mean, this would be $1,500 if she didn't fight it.
right?
We probably could have won, but not without putting on money. And they said if she fought it, then it could continue even longer and cost more money. So you gotta pay for something we didn't even do.
Do you have a copy of your survey?
Yes.
Okay, if you provide it to the town, we can take a look at it.
Okay. And the other question that I had is there a schedule of fees that you were posted for permits for different things that people might want to have done?
Is there a
It's on the website.
Yeah, I don't think there's necessarily a list of all the permit fees on one single sheet. But I can look.
Okay. All right, because there was one other instance where we had a concrete slab board under our house within the same buildable area of our tenant, so it wasn't a separate area, and we were charged like $600 and some, which was more than our original building permit for our house.
Okay, well, we can take a look at that and see what fee was charged.
Okay. All right, so would I just, would I submit that to?
Yeah, I can get it to Tammy, and she'll send it.
Okay.
Thank you.
But, okay, let's see. Sorry, the church goes out at that time.
Sorry, you were tired.
I'm gonna tell you one time that. The church goes, that's how.
You have one opportunity.
That's a house of God, Mayor. Please make sure in this dark world, dark country, and those places.
Mayor.
All right, please, order. So, you know, I will say that I've heard a couple comments tonight about, the town's done this in the past, the town's done that in the past, the town's done that in the past. I'm not trying to defend the town or anybody else. And we all make mistakes. But most of us, most of these employees here are fairly doing their positions, and I think they're trying the best. They might make mistakes, and we will try to own up to the mistakes that we make, so just please be patient with us, and as Don also like the idea of having meetings by the neighbors of the property, that's a great idea, so, that type of interaction is a great idea, so. Yeah, thanks, we can't fix what's been done in the past, we can only try to improve it before. So, on the agenda, we have the, council remarks on election commission.
We'd like to thank everybody for their patience. Sorry over here. I just had a bit. Thank everybody about and the phone. And
All right, here. There.
I just want to thank all the town employees for the hard work and all the emails we receive of all the things that we have to deal with, so appreciate it. Thanks, Andy.
I just want to thank everybody for coming. I mean, the group is getting bigger and bigger. I know there's a public hearing scheduled for tonight. But we didn't get any comments from the public. So, thanks everybody for coming and being patient. It's the wheels of government turn slow.
All right. So with that, I will go ahead and adjourn. I'll make that nomination. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.